Welcome to CCN TV News, your premier source for local and international news. From the streets of Kingston to the capitals of the world, we are ready to cover you stories that shape our world. Stay tuned for breaking news.
U.S. deports 300 immigrants to El Salvador, despite court order. In a controversial move, the Trump administration deported nearly 300 Venezuelan immigrants to El Salvador, defying a federal court order that had mandated a halt. The decision has sparked legal and human rights debates over the use of the Alien Enemies Act, executive authority, and the separation of powers. Background of the deportations. On March 15, 2025, the U.S. government deported approximately 300 alleged members of Venezuelan gangs, including the Tren de Aragua and MS-13. These deportations were conducted under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a wartime statute that allows the president to detain or remove foreign nationals from enemy nations. The last major use of this act was during World War II against Japanese, Italian, and German nationals. Legal challenge and court order. The ACLU and Democracy Forward challenged the administration's actions, arguing that the Alien Enemies Act requires a formal declaration of war, which had not occurred. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg issued a restraining order on March 15th, blocking the deportations and ordering the return of planes already in transit. Defiance of the court order. Despite the ruling, the administration continued with the deportations. Flights departed between 5:26 p.m. and 9:50 p.m., even though the order was issued at 6:45 p.m. The Department of Justice argued that some deportations occurred before the ruling took effect and accused the judge of protecting gang members. The White House defended the deportations, calling them essential for national security. Deportees sent to El Salvador's notorious prison. Upon arrival, the deportees were sent to the Terrorism Confinement Center, CCOT, in El Salvador, a prison known for its harsh conditions. The transfer was facilitated by an agreement between U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele. Reports indicate that the U.S. paid El Salvador $6 million to accept the deportees, who are expected to remain in confinement for at least 1 year. Loresa's ACLU's response and legal concerns. Lee Gelernt, the ACLU's lead counsel, condemned the administration's actions, arguing that the Alien Enemies Act was misused. He emphasized that deporting individuals without due process, without proving their alleged gang affiliations, violates constitutional rights. Human rights and political implications. Human rights organizations have criticized the deportations, arguing that detainees were denied the opportunity to contest their removal. The expedited nature of their deportation raises concerns about legal protections and fair treatment. Politically, the administration's defiance of a federal court order has deepened tensions between the executive and judicial branches. Critics warn that ignoring judicial authority could set a dangerous precedent, potentially leading to a constitutional crisis. Conclusion. The deportation of 300 immigrants despite a court order marks a significant moment in U.S. immigration policy. The administration's use of wartime laws in peacetime and its disregard for judicial authority raise critical questions about executive power, legal protections, and human rights. The legal battle ahead will determine the long-term implications of this controversial decision.